You have more control over your life than you realize, and I'm going to prove it to you. You need to understand a basic concept, which usually people think of it as mind over matter. But because we're not the mind and because we're not the body, that usually doesn't work when you're thinking about mind over matter, because it is not you to begin with. You are consciousness. So you have to think of it from consciousness over matter. Now, let me give you two examples. When a pen falls and hit the ground, the impact that the pen has hitting the ground is no different than an earthquake. Bear with me, I will explain. When I turn on the faucet, as in the sink, whether it's in a kitchen, bathroom, shower, and that water that is pouring out and falling into the sink or the tub, it is no different than a waterfall. Here's the explanation. When the water and the faucet and the sink, the water itself, what we call static matter and dynamic activity. So the pen hitting the ground, the pen itself in the ground is static matter. But the impact of the pen having to against the ground is dynamic activity. Same way, when the water is pouring out of the sink or a faucet, the water itself, the sink, and the basin is the static matter, but the impact that the water is having from pouring out of this faucet and going into the sink is dynamic activity, meaning that they're both one and the same. They both have the same quality, but the quantity is different. Now, I'll use another example. We know that plants can feel pain, right? People, when they usually hear that, they're thinking, so what are we supposed to eat? I'm not going there right now. I'm not speaking about veganism or vegetarianism, although they tend to use this a lot when it comes to what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. So I understand that comes up, but plant has consciousness too, just like us. They have the capacity to feel pain. They have consciousness, but the level of consciousness is different. All of our consciousness, the quality of it is the same. The quantity of it is different. Getting it? Like how we have God, and then we have God incarnated into the body that you're in right now, right? The quality is exactly the same. You're God, it's God, cosmos God, everything's God. But the quantity is different. The amount of awareness that God, everything, existence have of itself is much more greater than us, because we are filtering our consciousness through these bodies in order for us to experience a third density experience here on planet Earth. I was speaking with someone on a visa run, because right now I'm in Da Nang in Vietnam, and I was explaining to them, I was saying, when I mentioned about the whole consciousness, that their consciousness is less, so that's why it's, okay to eat them, or better to eat them versus other things that can experience more pain or has a higher level of consciousness. They kind of felt disrespected when I spoke about the plants having lesser consciousness, and I was like, relax, you need to understand that we are strategic existence. Plants does not have strategic existence. Like if you take a crystal, for example, a crystal is one dimensional. It is just being. Whether a storm comes, whether someone wants to steal it from a shop, or someone wants to throw it at someone for violence, it can't do anything. It doesn't have a strategic existence. It's just one dimensional being. All crystals, right? So then you have us. And I'll go over how many dimensions of a being we are, but we are a fifth dimensional being. For us, we have strategic existence, meaning if we see a girl that we like that's coming our way, we'll either try to impress them or we'll try to hide. If there's a storm coming or if there's an enemy coming our way, then we're going to do our best to go ahead and try to either fight or flight. That's strategic existence. We have the capacity to make decisions beyond other beings that exist here on planet Earth with a lower level of consciousness. How does this all tie into Vedic astrology and your free will, and you have a complete control over your life and over your circumstances and situations? Well, on a basic level, you are the one who manifested the circumstances that you are in right now. Whether you want to use external factors as a catalyst to say, no, that's responsible, not me. On a basic level, all of us who are spiritual knows on a basic level that we are the manifestors of everything that we experience, right? So if you remember that, then automatically all that junk is thrown out the window. You know that you are responsible, that you chose to experience what you're experiencing. But based on you right now that is aware that I do not like this, you do have the power and the capacity to shift timelines to a more favorable timeline that you would see more positive for you. And so you as strategic existence, dynamic matter, and static activity, because who's the one who dropped the pen onto the floor? Who's the one who's able to change and shift the direction of a waterfall? We have the capacity to do that, right? So if we have the capacity, remember I told you, the faucet in the bathroom is no different than the waterfall. I already proved that and explained that to you. The impact of a pen is no different than an earthquake when the pen is hitting the floor. So if you have the capacity to cause something that is of the same amount of power as a waterfall or as a earthquake, then even you dropping a pen on the floor is a very powerful thing. You are much more powerful than you realize it. Remember, they are the same quality. It's just a different level of quantity. So what you need to understand is that you can, when you're making yourself a higher vibrational compatibility with that life you want to manifest, like I teach people when I do their Vedic astrology reading, I teach them how, I give them the understanding first of the foundation of what's going on in their life and how they wired this life in this lifetime in order to experience, to have the most amount of expansion. When you're raising your vibration and becoming a more vibrational compatibility with that life that you want to be living, how you want to be living, the people you want to be around, you're allowing your strategic existence to strategize in order to have control over all dynamic activity and static matter that is happening in your life. Meaning what? All events that will happen in your life, all the things that will come and go in your life, you have control over. This doesn't mean that if you plan something to the T, it's going to happen as per the T. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen exactly step by step by step by step. Like for me, coming to Vietnam, right? It was a jump for me. It was a leap of faith kind of thing. It didn't happen 100% the way I wanted to, but I'm making it happening. I'm building a boat while I'm swimming, and I'm literally like living beyond my expectations, living in Vietnam, like living abroad, like not living with family, or living in India, like in an ashram for over half a year. Like it's a pretty amazing thing for me. For some people, they moved out early. They're probably used to that. But for me, it's something that was beyond my comprehension of being able to do or having the possibility to do until now. This alone is to give you the understanding that you are strategic existence. You have control over your circumstances. And it is the kind of mindset, the kind of cognitions, the kind of deep-rooted things that you have going on in your unconscious that is manifesting what's going on in your life. Because a lot of people feel like their conscious mind is what's controlling their life. No, it's your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind actually has more power over your conscious mind. It is the very thing that has power and influences your body the most, and influences it the most when it comes to manifesting all of the circumstances you have in your life. And some people feel like, well, I'm not manifesting, and sometimes I manifest, and sometimes I'm not manifesting. Understand that you're always manifesting. You're always manifesting 24/7. It's impossible for you to not manifest. Everything that you're experiencing, you are the source of. That's the reason why we always start with the Vedic astrology reading, for you to find out the foundation of what's going on in your life in order for you to truly start making a shift and a change in your life. So if you're interested in a Vedic astrology reading, I've been replying to a lot of my comments more lately, and I will be replying to all of your comments. So any questions that you have that you'd like me to speak about in the next upcoming video, comment down below. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification, because I am posting weekly. I promise you guys, I have posted like twice last week, and I'm just on it. So all the questions that you have, I know it's been years, but all the questions that you guys have, put it down in the comments, and I will gladly answer it as per a video. And man, look at that beautiful sunset. I've been like yapping away. Look at that beautiful sunset right now. That is beautiful, isn't it? And it looks like the way it looks in person, you'll be surprised. The way it looks in person, it is surreal. Maybe I'll get a front facing video of it on the other side and show you.